Hello guys, welcome back to the crew. In this video we are gonna take a look to the importance, or not, that's what we're gonna decide after this video, of the perk points. Gonna take the example here of the street tuner. First of all, I am in a BMW Z4, as you can see, and on the left of my screen you see my name followed by S1234. That means that this car is a street spec with a rating of 1234. We're gonna in the dealers here, or in this case the street tuner, and we're gonna have a look there. I'm not gonna drive around in this video, so I'm gonna let the settings be at 60 frames per second, hoping that that will work, although usually when I'm recording I reset it to 30 FPS because of my PC. Tune your vehicle, that's what we're gonna do, or at least we're gonna have a look at the performance. Now, if all goes right, I cannot buy the level 50 port that I have on. You can see there are 3 available: grip bonus, acceleration bonus and speed bonus. So I am missing the braking bonus, and that's because that's already on the car. So I am at a maximum of 1234 points, and I have level 50 parts on all of these 11. But the maximum rating for a car is 1299. So we will take a look how that is possible later on in headquarters. First thing, now I'm gonna look at the collection board. I have about 8 pages of cars so far, I think, so let's go to page number 9. And well, let's pick out a specific car. La Ferrari. Price of that thing is $1,080,000 bucks. Okay, so keep that in mind. Anything else I have to check? I don't think so. Not yet. So I'm gonna leave the tuners now. Oh, what we didn't look at was the price for the engines and all that, which was 8,000 bucks for a street spec. For a dirt spec, that is 17,000. For a perfect spec, it's 27,000. For a race spec, it's 37,000, and for a circuit spec, it's even 45,000 bucks to put a level 50 part on there to buy it. But since you have 11 parts on your car, that means you need to spend a total of 495,000 bucks on a circuit spec to get it at a maximum if you do not want to grind for the parts. That's something else. The crew roster here and the mobile phone, let's call it that way. The mobile mechanic is locked. You cannot do that, and as it already suggests, you have to unlock it by going to the headquarters, which is what we are going to do. So, headquarters. So, on the right top of my screen you can see that 1234 is the maximum rating of my car. But the maximum rating is 1299. How is that possible? Well, Here we have the perk points. If you have finished the story, if you're new to this game, you will only have Zoe available. But once you keep on playing, you have all these 6 people. If you have done the story and you have Zoe is the first one you meet, so you will get her the first time you arrive in the headquarters. If you go to Chicago, you will meet Omar, then he will become available here in Perk Point as well. Harry you meet going to the east, Alita going to the south. If you go towards Las Vegas, you will meet Roxanne, and Vincent you will meet on the west coast. So, if you have been on the west coast and you met Vincent, all these 6 people will be here. And they all come with their own different perks. And it goes from some of them 3 points, some of them 10, and so on. So, first things first, we need to get that car at 1299. And to do that, I have 70 points to spend. After the story I had 49 I think. And I bought a few extra ones, which I used randomly. Because I'm just gonna put a few just randomly on it. That's 3, that's 4, that's 5. I have used 5 now. Now, in my case I'm playing with a keyboard, so F1 resets the points. So I'm gonna F1, gonna click F1, and there you go. You pay $100 per point to reset them if you made a mistake, or if you say, okay, I want to change my perk points, $100 to reset them per point. So I have 70. If I would have put all 70 on them, I had to pay 7,000, which is, well, basically nothing. So it's best to have a look at what you are doing and then spend the points there, do the stuff you're doing, and then reset the points and use them for something else instead of keep on buying. Because if you want to buy the perk points, if I'm not mistaken, to buy 1 point you need $100,000 or 2,000 crew credits, which is quite a lot in both cases. But I have 70 to spend, so what we are definitely going to use is the 5 points for Zoe, because that gives us a 5% increase, or 1% per point for braking. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What we also going to use is Omar's first one. That's the one for handling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we are going to look for the first one for Roxanne. That's the same situation, but this time for acceleration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second one for Vincent does the same, but for the top speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we use 20 points now. And those are the ones that you need to use if you want to get your car at 12. It's at 12:34 now. We're gonna leave. And you already see a change. It's 1299 now, which is the maximum you can get your car. So those are the first. We'll go back in. Those are the 4 that you have to use to get your cars at maximum. So we have done that. Let's see what else is available. This one gives you, if you use all 10 of them, if you spend 10 points on this, it gives you a 20% chance of 2 perk points at each level up. So if you use this from the beginning, instead of getting 49 perk points by leveling up from level 1 to level 50, because you get 1 perk point every time you level up, and over here you have 20% chance of 2 perk points to level up. Now 20% chance, that's 1/5, so seeing you win about 50 points, I'm assuming that every few levels you will get 2 points instead of 1, and that will give you about 60 points after you finish the story, instead of the 49 or 50 that you will normally have. That's for this one. So this one you have to use if you're still doing the story, leveling up to the maximum level of level 50, which I am, which everybody is if you finish the story. So this one is something you have to use before you finish the story. This one gives you, if you use 1 point, it gives you 3% of the cost of all street parts. Remember that the street engines and all that was 8,000. If you use all 10 of them, you get a 30% discount for all the costs of the street parts. So that means that for street spec, instead of 8,000, you will only pay 5,600 for an engine or air system or fuel injection or whatever. So and I will show you that later. So I'm gonna put 10 on them. We go back to the street tuners later on to show you. This one, if you use 5 points, it gives 10% more XP and bucks from missions. So again, this one is something to use if you're still in the story. Spend 5 points on this one. Or if you do missions, if you're intending to do, let's say, okay, this week I'm only going to play missions, well, it's pretty simple. Put 5 points on this one. And if you finish the missions, you can reset all the points and use those 5 points for something else. This one gives an increase of the co-op bonus, bucks and XP in missions and faction missions by 10%. The co-op or cooperation, meaning that you do missions with, or faction missions with a crew. If you always play with your friends, doing missions, this one is the way to go. This one gives 50% of the cost for repairs. So that's something that I usually use, but we'll keep it for this now. This one, I wouldn't suggest using this one. It's a visual racing line in augmented with color-coded speed data. That means that if you come towards a corner, the visual racing line will sort of turn red, meaning that you're supposed to brake, but it's not that accurate. You can brake later than the line suggests and so on, so I wouldn't use this one if I was you. This one, definitely going to use that. Remember that the LaFerrari costed over $1 million, so I'm going to spend 10 points in here. There we go. So we have 30 points left now. Now this one, if you use 1 point, we have unlocked the mobile mechanical app on our mobile phone. The thing that was locked when I showed it earlier in the video will now be unlocked. That means that you can repair your car wherever you are. If you're driving around and you want to repair your car, you can do it with your mobile phone. App thing on the right of your screen. But it is at 200%. 200% of the cost that you would pay if you repair your car in headquarters. So that's not something we want, so I'm gonna spend 10 points on this one. And why? Because now it repairs my car anywhere at the same price as I would repair it in headquarters. So that's why I use this one. This one, again, reveals everything within 1 kilometer of the player. That is pretty useful if you haven't found all data stations and stuff like that, because then sometimes you can't find certain things. Then this one might have helped, but in my case I found all data stations and everything is revealed on my map, so I'm not using this one. This one gives you 10% more XP and bucks from skills. Skill tests are the scramble tests and the speed tests and all that. So if you are gonna grind to level up your car, meaning you buy a car, let's say, and he has 400 points. You want to get it at 12.99, then you do not want to buy the parts, then you have to grind for it by doing tests over and over again. I'd suggest use this one because you get 10% more bucks if you do so. This one is for parts again. We have used these for the street parts, so I'm not going to use these. These ones are these 10 points are points that I use depending on what I'm doing. So at this point I am trying to get all my street spec cars at 12.99. That's why I'm using this one. After I have all my street cars at 12.99, I'm gonna reset my perk points, and then I will spend 10 here for the dirt parts, and I will start buying the dirt cars so that I can get all of those 12.99 and then reset the points again, and you use them for the perfect parts, for the raid spec parts, and for the circuits, because it's always does the same. It gives you a 30% discount for all parts for a certain spec. So we are using street spec at this moment, so dirt, perfect, raid and circuit. So you can, of course, you can buy all perk points and you can use all of these things, which is also something you have to do at one point. Reset all your points and put all the points for Zoe on and all the points for Amar, then reset, and then do the same for these two, because if you use all points for one specific character, you will get an award in the in your driver's license, the so-called AP points. So you will unlock a reward if you use all these, and so on for one specific character. There is also an award if you use the full board, but for that to be able to, I did a count once, and I think you need 181 perk points to be able to put all of them at the same time. So it's a bit costly. Seen they are costing 100,000 bucks per point, or 2,000 crew credits per point. So it's kind of useless to do that. So I think I'm gonna let that award skip. Where were we? These were the skills that we've done, the dirt parts. So we go to Alita. This one gives you a 100% nitrous available at the start of any mission or PvP. What does that mean? Well, normally if you start a race, your nitro bar or NAS, that has to charge. So it's at 0% at the start, and it by driving on, it will fill up slowly to 100%. If you use this one, you will have 100% from the start. So you could do a NAS start. Let's call it that. But spending 10 points on that, oh, I don't know. If you have 10 points to spend, be my guest, go for it. This one gives you a 20% increase to your acceleration if you are using the nuts or the nitro. Again, you can if you have point to spend, go for it. This one gives you 10% more dollars from these stunts. What are the stunts? Jumps, drifts, the collateral damage that you do by hitting stuff. If you do a lot of that, I would suggest use these ones. These ones for the perfect spec, 30% cost, but we are using street now, so these are the 10 points that I always switch up. This one is if you have a crew, you can send your friends to do certain faction missions, and you get some. Depending on the point that you use, you can send 1 friend, 2 friends, and so on. But not something I use. This one gives you 10% more reputation points from faction missions and PvP events. Seeing I'm trying to put my street cars at the maximum at this moment, I am doing the multiplayer lobbies or the so-called PvP events for the simple reason you get the most bucks from those things. So I will gonna go with this one for 5 points. This one is for the raid spec, so if you're gonna buy raid spec parts, go for this one. That's again gonna use the street part. If I'm done with that, I'm gonna put them here and here and here, and so till I have all the specs. What does this one? This is the same, but then for circuit spec. This one gives you 10% more XP and dollars from PvP events. So $40, we're gonna use these. And this one gives you 15% faster scoring in any skill. If you're trying to get platinum parts for your car to level it up faster, I suggest use this one, because you have a 15% faster going for platinum. So if you and your friend do the same test with the same car at the same level, you drive side by side, he might have gold and you might have platinum, just because you will get 15% more scoring in those tests. So I have 10 points left, trying to figure out which one I used. Oh, I think I used these ones for the stunts. %10 more bucks from stunts, and I also used these to get the 15% for the skills. But I have all the street parts unlocked, all the dirt parts are unlocked, so I'm not gonna use these anymore, I think. Yeah, I will, because the bucks, it's not that much a buck. So I've spent my 70 points now, and once I'm done with the street cars, I will reset and put them all back on again, and then instead of the street parts I will go for the dirt parts. And when I'm done with that, reset again, and then I put those 10 points here, and so on, till I have all those things. So we have put those perk points on now, and we are gonna have a look again on where is it? Already missed it. Page 11. Here it is. La Ferrara, which in the beginning of the video I showed it costed 1,080,000. It's now costing us 756,000 because we used 10 perk points on the dealer discount, meaning we get 30% discount on every single car you have to buy. So that's one that's pretty wiseful to use. Our car, as shown before, is also on 1,299, as you can see. Yes, we want to leave headquarters. I'm gonna skip the movie. Here we go. And what are we going to do? We are going to go back to the street tuner where we started our little video. Tune the car performance. As mentioned before, exhaust for instance. It costed us 8,000 bucks to buy this, and now because we used the 30% for street parts, it's only gonna cost us 5,600. I'm not gonna buy it because my car already is at 1299. So I bought one part. As you can see, I have 3 parts available, because I unlocked all 44 level 50 parts for this street spec by grinding with my Nissan GTR, and I've done the same for the other specs. I used one card to grind to unlock all these parts in the street tuners and dirt tuners, because you have to do it for each spec. you have to unlock them every single time for the spec. So what we are going to do is we have 80,000. So let's see. I have the Abarth at 12.99. I have the Z4 at 12.99. Now this oh, go back. Stupid. This one is the Street Edition pack. Seen I bought the complete edition of the game. I also have the Street Edition packs, but which is a DLC pack. I would not suggest buying that one, because what do you get with it? Well, you get 4 or 5 different cars, Street Edition. And what do you get? You get a full stock car and a street spec. So you do not have to buy them, not the car or not the street spec. But it has no, seeing it's Street Edition, you only get that. So it has no dirt spec, no perfect spec, no race spec, no circuit spec. So if you want to drive a BMW Z4 in, let's say, circuit spec, then you have to get the normal Z4, which you have to buy. To get, apparently it doesn't have a dirt spec, so to get the perfect spec, the race spec and the circuit spec, you have to buy the normal one. So there is no point in buying the Street Edition packs, because if you want to unlock these, if they are available, because the Z4 doesn't have a dirt spec apparently, but it does have a perfect rate and circuit spec, to get those you still have to buy the normal car, so there's no point in buying the Street Edition pack. So I have to do these cars. I still have to do. Same for here. Dodge Ram, same story. You get this one and this one from the Street Edition pack, but if you want to get the dirt, perfect, rate and circuit spec, you still have to buy the normal one and the street spec. Well, you could leave the street spec because you already have that, but that's 4,500 for the street spec. So the Street Edition pack, well, that's thumbs down if you ask me. I'm trying to look what the other cars is. So we had the Z4, the Mustang 2015 Street Edition, same story. You get this one and this one, which comes with the carbon hood. Another one of those things, you cannot change it. Try to, I think, trying to make a difference with the normal fast spec, which also has a perfect spec. And if you have the Street Edition, you cannot get that, so you still have to buy this one. You can leave this one because you already have that one, but you still have to buy the normal full stock. So again, Street Edition, pointless. That's 3. Let's see, what is the other one? I thought there were 4 or 5. Alright. Mini Cooper Street Edition, same story. You get these 2, but there are other specs available as well. So if you want that, you need to buy the normal one, which I haven't done yet. That's why I only have one of these. And I thought there was another one, but I'm not 100% sure. Or is it only those 4? Probably. As you can see here, Mini Cooper, with the 30% discount, it still costs 140,000. Mini Cooper S. To get the street spec we already have because of the Street Edition pack, but the dirt spec, the perfect spec and the circuit spec you cannot have unless you buy this one. So these Street Edition packs, well, I'm sorry Ubisoft or Ivory Tower, whoever makes these things, but that's definitely not a go. So I have the Nissan GTR. I'm gonna bring that one up because I will show you what grinding means. Grinding means that, for instance, for the exhaust. Oh, we are at the street tuners now. As you can see, I do not have, I only have one of these, and I thought there was another one, but I'm not 100% sure. Or is it only those 4? Probably. As you can see, I do not have any level 50 parts for this car, for the simple reason that I have all 4 of them for exhaust in headquarters. ECU, same story. Level 41 is the highest I can buy. Level 50, all 4 of them are in my headquarters. And it's the same for all the 11 parts, because this is the car that I used to grind for the 44 street spec level 50 parts. But, well, I'm going back to my page number 1 here, because that's what I'm working on now at the moment, trying to get all these street spec. Already have the Abarth at 12.99 and the Z4 and a few others as well. Now I'm not gonna put this Z4 at 12.99 because I already have one, the normal one. The Cadillac, well, it's not something I'm gonna use in street spec very often, so I will wait with that. Same for the Eldorado. So we are gonna use the Camaro. We're gonna tune it. Performance comes with a score of 460. Normally 320 if you buy a street spec with the Perk points for maximum level on your in headquarters. Then it comes with a score of 320. So apparently I already won some parts because it has a score of 460 at the moment. But doesn't matter. Exhaust. So, because I unlocked all parts, as you can see, I have 4 options here for level 50. Braking bonus, grip bonus, acceleration bonus and speed bonus. And I'm simply gonna look what gives me the most. So that's 341.9, that's 341.8, that's 441, so that's less. And that's 352. So I'm gonna use a speed bonus here on this one. Up to SU. What I just did was I bought a part for 5,600 because I have 30% discount. Otherwise I would have had to pay 8,000. 384, 473. It's not as good. 73 here and 73 again. We have especially grip seems to be a problem, so we're gonna put a few grip bonuses on. It's not that much difference though, because towards the end you will see that you will get higher scores. I'm just mixing it up here. This one only gives acceleration. So we're gonna go for the speed bonus here because it gives acceleration and top speed. Gearbox. $340.10, $329.11. That's only $340, so the speed bonus is better. Or grip or brake. So we're gonna use grip or brake. We're gonna use the grip this time. And so on, and you keep doing it like that. Because in the end there's only about 9% difference. As you can see, this is where you get the big points for grip. Try to balance it out a bit. Braking is pretty high here, so we need gonna use top speed here. High score on grip, so I'm using grip. Same here. Gonna use grip, try to get it at over 3000 score, which is not gonna happen. So we're going to use speech in that case. So now, as you can see here, my car is at 1299 for 11 times 5600, 61,600 instead of the 88,000 I had to pay if I wouldn't have used my perk points on the street parts. So it's 20,000 that we saved here by using the perk points. It's not that much, but for a circuit spec it's 346,500 instead of paying 495,000 for doing exactly the same as what we did on the street car here. So almost 150,000 difference on the circuit spec if you use the perk points or not. That's, you can buy a car, for instance the Mini Cooper S for 150,000. Now we bought one single part, which means these three others are still available. You can also buy them if you have enough bucks, or you can grind for them, because now your car is at the maximum. If you do a test now, you will always get a level 50 part. So we have 11 parts, but there are 4 sorts of each, so there are 33 parts out there. If you do a jumped skill test and you get a part, you will get one of those 33, because you always get what you need. So you have 33 points, parts which you can grind for if you are happy enough by getting the car at 1299. Just drive around and do not grind for them. If you want all the parts, you have to grind for them car by car. So that's another car at 1299. I'm gonna leave the tuners. Just gonna hit a few things here. Now, why did I do that? If you go to the mobile app now, as you can see at the beginning of the video, this was locked, but because we used 10 or 1 point on Harry's, one of his perks, we unlocked this one. And because we used 10 perk points there, if I click this one, I have a repair cost of 27 bucks. And I also have a 50% discount on repairs by using other perk points. So I'm gonna close this one. So 27 bucks. We go back to the headquarters. I haven't repaired the car for I just shown you that it costed me 27 bucks if I would have repaired. Workshop. We go in. First of all, it's gonna tell us we have 11 new performance parts, as you can see, number 11 there. And that's pretty simple. That's only one level 50 part, and it's the same for the others. The exclamation marks meaning that you have a new part there. Pretty obvious, we just bought 11 parts to get it at $12.99. Enter only one of them available. Oh. So, repair cost. Do you want to repair your car? 27 bucks. It's the same as it was outside, and that's because of the perk points. We put perk points for the repairs, so no matter where we are on the map driving around, you can repair your car by using the mobile garage instead of coming into the headquarters and repair it, because as you can see, it's also 27 bucks. It's the same price. Because we bought 11 platinum parts, we have only 11 parts in the... But if I use this one, maybe I already showed it in the beginning of the video, can't even remember. We'll do a quick look. Performance parts. If I open the exhaust, instead of compared to the Camaro where we have one level 50 part, you will see I have 4 here. And that's for all the 11 parts. Because this is my grinding car. I have been playing skill tests over and over again, jumps or speed skills, till I had all of them. And by doing that, you unlock them also in the street tuners. So my street grinder, as I call it, is this car. And you have to do that for every spec, which I will show you. For the dirt and the rate I use the bikes. So this is my grinding bike. Over here this is the one that I used to get the 44 dirt level 50 parts in the dirt tuner. For the rate tuner I used this one. For the perfect tuner I used the Gran Turismo. Also for another reason, but first I will show you the Ferrari 458 I used as a circuit grinder. So this is the one that will also have the 44 parts on. And for the perfect spoke, for those who haven't seen my other videos, I used this one for a specific reason, because this one has a license agreement with Ubisoft, and it means that visually you cannot mess with it. It comes with a few official colors, I believe 5 or 6 if you go to the tuners or to the dealers, of which I bought 3. This one for my full stock, this one for the perfect spec, and this one for the circuit spec, because you cannot put any other colors on. Metallic is locked, matte is locked, iridescent is locked, chrome is locked, so you only have official for the colors. It's the same story for the stickers. It's the same interior, you do have a few, but all the rest is locked as well. Front bumpers you only have 1, and if you go to the tuners or dealers you cannot buy them any others, because it only has 1. Same for rear bumper, front fender, rear fender skirts. Rims, same story. You have 6 available, I think. I bought this one for the perfect, and number 6 available because that's on my circuit spec. Road not available. Racing not available. Off-road not available. Vintage not available. And well, you get the point. This thing has nothing to put on. That's bad news for those who really want to customize the car like they want it, but it's good news for those who get the idea of grinding. If you do those skill tests, you win some performance parts, you win some bucks, but you also win all those things: bumpers, rims, hoods, all that kind of things you really do not want to need when you're grinding for parts. You do not want to get hoods and rims, and so this car doesn't give that. This one gives you either performance parts or bucks. So, and once you have it at $12.99 with all the parts, like I have, with another part, let's say gearbox, I have 4 level 50 parts, and it's the same for the other 11 parts, so it cannot give me any parts anymore. And seeing it also can't give me hoods, rims and so on, it's only whatever I do, it's only gonna give me bucks. If I do a skill test, I will get, let's say, 250 bucks for doing the test, and from the platinum card I will get 250 bucks again, which of course is not that much, but it's the same for faction missions, multiplayer lobbies and so on. So if you do a multiplayer lobby, let's say with 5 people, you get 15,000 for doing a race, and you get a platinum card, you will also get 15,000 from that card. So for one race you get 30,000. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing multiplayer lobbies using this car, both in perfect spec as in circuit spec, and it's only giving me bucks. And that way you can easily get your hands on a few 100,000 by playing a few multiplayer lobbies. And that you can use to get the street parts or the dirt parts, or just buy them instead of grinding. So this will be it for this video. Just a quick walk through to the perk points, which are important, which aren't. This is basically before you do anything, always have a look at the perk points. Can I use some to do stuff? If you're gonna do a skill test, there are two or three which you can use perk points. Put them on first before you start doing, especially those that give you more bucks and things like that. If you want to do missions for the next couple of days, use the perk points for missions. If you want to do multiplayer lobbies, use the perk points for multiplayer lobbies, and so on. Just the four that I've put on first, you always have to use those to get the car at maximum of 12.99. If you do not use them, as shown in the beginning of the video, your cars will only be at 1234. Of course, that's only a little difference, but well, the difference is big enough to make you lose or win a race in a, let's say, a multiplayer lobby. So I would just use them anyway. So that's the first one for Zoe for the braking, first one for Amar for the handling, Roxanne for acceleration, second one for Vincent for top speed. That will put your car at 12.99 instead of 12.34. So that will conclude this video about the perks, and I will see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.